Gifts from the heart. Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to create these two ridiculously romantic, over-the-top floral gift boxes for Valentine's Day. If it's your first time here, I'm Katherine Bergman. I'm a floral designer and avid gardener with over 30 years experience designing weddings and events. Welcome to my channel where I share professional tips and techniques on how to create fabulous arrangements like this with you each week. Today we're going to make these Valentine's Day arrangements. You ready to create something gorgeous together? Let's get started. What I have here are two paper gift boxes that I purchased from the flower market. I'm sure you can buy this from craft stores like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So I decorated the top with a composite bow of hot pink and ombre coral colors and accented the center with a little jewel of pearls and rhinestones. And for the pink box, we're using a beautiful pink brocade ribbon with a larger brooch in the middle that I pinned in there. I like to make these very fancy bows just because it's going to be part of our design. And what I have today are beautiful pink and hot pink and magenta and coral color flowers that we're going to use in the arrangements. So I'm going to start with the red box. And it's a very simple arrangement we're going to do, kind of low and clustered, and then we'll incorporate this beautiful lid into the arrangement. And this is a beautiful design idea for Valentine's Day. And after the flowers are spent, the recipient of the gift has a beautiful box to put things in, right? I always like to have like a little keepsake. All right, what I have here is Floral Life Quick Dip, which I show you every week, which is a wonderful hydrator for your flowers. And I'll link this in the description below on Amazon where you can buy this. You put a little bit in a jar and you just dip the cut end of your stem in there before you put in your foam or you arrange it. You also do that before you process the flowers. I'm not sponsored by Quick Dip. They should sponsor me, but I want to show you this product because it really works. And I have a vase of beautiful flowers here that I chose mainly for the colors. I love these sort of analogous color schemes where we have all the colors on one side of the color wheel. All these colors have red undertones in them. The hot pink, the light pink, the magenta, and the coral. And I like mixing it up. Not a very high contrast, but mixing it up gives you kind of a luminous quality. And this is going to be a fun arrangement to do because it's going to be low and clustered and pretty easy. So I'm going to start with these hot pink roses, these giant hot pink roses. This is called Pink Floyd, like the band. My favorite rose for Valentine's Day. Long lasting, huge heads, really gorgeous rose. So I'm envisioning that we're going to put this box lid on here somehow, right? So we're going to make it somewhat a one-sided arrangement. It's not quite one-sided, but it's going to be heavier on one side than the other. It's not going to be a perfectly round, symmetrical arrangement. And I'm not even greening in because there's not that much space to work with, and we've got these giant headed roses here. So I'm creating the cluster of roses here. That's going to be our main focal point. Okay. Then I'm going to add in some of these coral watermelon pink ranunculus. Love the ranunculus, gives you a different shape and texture from the roses. And I chose this color because I wanted to use that ombre coral ribbon with the fuchsia. But this is a fun combination in a red container. Instead of doing red in here, what a lot of people would do, I thought, why don't we do hot pink and coral in a red container, and the red would be just in the container color. So you've got this really sophisticated blend of analogous colors in here. So we have so far, we've got some Lysianthus here in a paler pink. Some of these Lysianthus buds. Very pretty. I also have some pink heather. Love heather. It's a very Valentine's Day flower for me because they grow on the hills in the Bay Area at this time of year. It's a wonderful accent flower. I also wanted to show this color scheme because some of these colors, you know, if you look at them, you feel like, oh, that's not going to work in here. But when they're all together, because they all have red undertones, I think it works. And I think this is more fun than if we did like a red and white or red and pale pink, very, you know, cliche color combination. Got some fuchsia, hot pink, more fuchsia snapdragons. Couple of snapdragons on the side here. I've got heather on this side. I have some pink snapdragons. The snapdragons I purchased, the heads have not been very strong. So the tips keep breaking off, even though they're fresh. Don't know, sometimes they just do that. So I use some of these broken-headed ones kind of in the back as filler. If you ever worked in a flower shop, you know not to ever waste any stems of flowers. Okay. Gonna reserve that because maybe we have too many of the snaps. A couple more of these pretty ranunculus. I'm gonna add these in. Xanthus. One more stem of the ranunculus. And we also have more of the heather. Okay. Almost done. So we're going to kind of place our lid here like this. Then I'm going to finish the back so that we don't see any foam back here. Putting some heather in the back here. This is sort of a one-sided arrangement, but you definitely want it to be beautiful from the back as well. Because if you're placed on a table, you want the back to be finished, right? Arrange the ribbon artfully. A little bit of greenery here that I'm going to fill in the back with. I'm keep the greenery very tight because we don't want it to be too much greenery back here. Just so we don't see the foam. Okay, I'm going to spin it around to see how it looks from the front. Looks really good from the front, right? Very pretty. I feel like it needs a little sprig of something green. So I'm going to cut some Xanthus buds here. And here we have our first arrangement in the red container with kind of salmon, red, hot pink flowers. Really, really gorgeous display of flowers. Now we're going to go on to our pink arrangement. And here's our pink box. I'm going to set the lid aside. And here's our assortment of pink flowers for our pink arrangement. What we have is, once again, the pink Floyd roses, some pink lisianthus, pink carnations, pink snapdragons, some of the heather, and some orleia for a mostly pink palette here. Now I'm trying to think, how are we going to have the box open? Are we going to do this on a diagonal? Or are we going to open it like this? What do you guys think? If we open it like this, then I'll do the arrangement this way. Open it on a diagonal. I think the diagonal looks nicer, so I'm going to do it on the diagonal, the arrangement. Start with our large flowers first again. Pink Floyd. What a great name for a rose, right? I'm going to fill in with some of this beautiful clear pink carnations. This is what we have so far. I'm designing on a diagonal. Some lisianthus here. All these beautiful side shoots of lisianthus, the buds. Definitely want to use this. I like to use things like this kind of in between to create a little space and that little bit of green between your flowers without using a ton of greenery. We have a lisianthus that has kind of a bent head. Wonder if I should make use of that in the front where we have sort of I sort of want like a cascading element there. Let's see if it works. Nope, it bends over too much. Okay, I'll just tuck it in behind the rose. And we have some of the snapdragon. Because the snapdragon, the tips have broken off, I'm using it more at like in the background. The colors and textures are still very pretty, but unfortunately it's missing the pretty tips. That's what we have so far. It's fun to do these clustered arrangements, right? When you're designing mostly with texture. I'm just sort of pavéing the back here with the pink carnations. Okay, now I'm going to add some of the accent flowers. I have pink belladonna. Some of this pink heather, very pretty. In the old days at the flower market, at Christmas, not Christmas, in the old days at the flower market, the vendors would have beautiful heart-shaped wreaths made from heather at Valentine's Day. I wonder if they still do, probably. Heather used to be very inexpensive, like $2 a bunch. Not so inexpensive now. Even though they're sourced locally. Fill some of the back here with heather. Okay. See what the front looks like. Looking good. Okay, we're almost done with our arrangement. Cover our foam back here with some more carnations and snaps. And add a little frilliness with the pretty lilac pink heather. Heather is not very heavily scented, even though in literature you always hear about the scent of heather, right? And the English moors. Not much scent to them. At least the California heather, not heavily scented. Should I add some white Orlea, or is this pretty nice with just the pinks? Maybe I'll add some on the edges. I almost don't want to add the white just because I love the look of that lush, all pink look. What do you think? I'll add one and see how I like it. Well, it makes it much more romantic, I think. I'll add a little bit, not too much. Very long-lasting little flower, Orlea. Even though so delicate looking, it lasts pretty well. Okay, I'm going to stop and see how this looks with our lid on here. We even have space for our lid. Let's see. I'm going to remove this snapdragon. There we go. That looks nice. Then I can add the snapdragon to the somewhere else. Where can I add this? Maybe to the side here. And here's our pink box. Fluff over your bow a little bit. Here's our beautiful pink box. We're all done with our 2 romantic Valentine's Day box arrangements. I hope my designs inspired you to create something over-the-top romantic for Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. New designs and floral inspirations are always on the way, so click the little bell to be notified when I put out a new video. I love hearing from my loyal viewers and my new viewers each week, so send me a note to let me know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. And don't forget to share your beautiful creations in the community section of my channel. Remember, flowers are life's little luxury. Treat yourself this week, and I will see you in my next video.